Welcome everyone, episode 5, The Guardians here, joined with the full cast. We are all here, we are all clean, we are all showered and refreshed. Well, everybody except One Eye. And yeah, it's another exciting week, another exciting week of Overwatch news, a lot to go over the show. But before we get into that, let's see if it's been an exciting week for everyone else. I know I've been playing nothing but Overwatch. So Artemis, how's your week been going?
Hi, the week's been going. Well, it could be going better. The Overwatch team crew, they're doing really good. They're solidifying the roster, and they're going to be making a strong entrance this weekend into the ESL tournament and the Gozu Gamers tournament.
Very nice. Yeah, and we're looking forward to watching them and cheering them on too. It's going to be a good time. I think Azax is dead, so we'll move on to One Eye next, man.
I'm
How's
not
your week
dead.
been?
My week, well, I've just been playing Overwatch with you the entire time. Every day we've been streaming and just doing together and playing with other people, and that's it. I mean, this game, they keep releasing all these hot fixes because of Bastion and Pureborn issues, and I'm sure we'll get into it in the show, but it is super fun right now. It's good. It feels like it changes so much, so
So
it's a good
much,
time.
so much
It's
Overwatch.
definitely been a fun time.
So much to do a queue. And Azax was jumping in with us too when he had time.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of real life stuff he does because he's a busy guy. But how's your week been?
It's going pretty good. I've been trying to play as much Overwatch as I can, trying to level up. I think I'm finally level 25, and I feel behind most of my friends at this point, but I'm still trying to get as much play time as I can.
Yeah.
This week's spent a lot of time trying to play heroes I wasn't really comfortable with before, like Zenyatta. So it's been an interesting week.
Yeah, dude, you feel behind. I think I'm level 30 or 31, and One Eye and I were in a game today with a level 97. Like,
Yeah,
Which
someone's
was
already
the
level 100.
craziest thing I've ever seen. It was madness.
yeah, I'm
Someone's
like,
already
what?
100. It's ridiculous.
Pay to
Yeah.
count, yeah, like...
Count something like just botting it like 24 hours a day. But sweet. Well, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started in these notes here. There's a lot to cover, a lot to go around, a lot of blue posts. Starting with that beta invite wave went out. It was mainly for the Asian region, the oceanic regions, to kind of get people involved. That way they can test those servers because most of the beta invites that have been going out were Europe and Americas. So yay to our Asian brethren. You get to play the
good.
Overwatch and enjoy it.
The way they worded it, it wasn't until like the very last sentence. There's like 3 or 4 sentences, and the very last one was Asia. So everyone on Reddit was just like, "I'm so excited! Oh fuck,
Yeah.
Asia."
Asia only. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other peripheral stuff. The senior writer, one of the senior writers at Blizzard, Mickey Nelson, said they're going to come out with an Overwatch comic book, which I'm sorry, but I'm going to be picking them up, and I hope they do a movie, and I hope that they have a TV series, and I hope that I get to I get to see the live Broadway play. I mean, just keep pumping it out. But starting with the comic books, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Can I ask what a musical would sound like for Overwatch?
I'm
Oh,
sure
boy.
Zarya would sing. I mean, she does everything. Yeah, I don't know.
Industrial Zarya.
Industrial Zarya, you got you got Mariachi Reaper. I mean, the foundation is there. You just have to kind of fit the pieces together.
Yeah, an Overwatch. Opera.
Book of Mormon was amazing, so I think they could do an Overwatch musical. I would be
Book
surprised.
Book of Mormon, Book of Volskaya. Yeah.
More just like I can't even right now.
Yeah, but so that's kind of cool. And then some other quality of life changes with play of the game being tweaked and the ability to go back and watch your play of the game. They're looking into how they can go about doing that. So don't expect anything in the near future, but hopefully by launch they'll have something rudimentary. And then finally, the last kind of non-game related issue is that the beta participants will not be getting any rewards like they had with Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. You spent money in Hearthstone, you got Gelbin Mechatork. You spent money in Heroes of the Storm, you got the Wonder Billion out. With Overwatch, they think it's enough of a reward to get into the beta because everybody wants in and nobody's in. It feels
You're
like.
getting to play only watch. That is the reward.
Yeah.
Like,
So
The people who are asking on Reddit and other sources, like, is there gonna be rewards? Like, you're getting to play. It's a really small beta where I'm seeing a lot of the same players every day, and you're getting to play. That's enough reward in itself.
yeah. I mean, and I have no problem with it. I mean, you'll get your rewards if you pre-order the Origins Edition, if you're a PC Master Race, and if you're Xbox One or PS4, you get to play the game so you can shut up and color. But there's no rewards for beta participants, and that's fine. I mean, I didn't expect anything. I never expect anything. If there was, I probably would pay money to get it, but I mean, I'm not crying over it. So
I mean, I was hoping for a portrait, but you know,
Portrait would be kind of neat. They
Yeah.
should give like I don't
just
know.
I
They're
was
so
there.
small.
You know, that's all it is. But
yeah,
it's understandable. So I mean, there's no room to complain. We're getting to play it.
yeah, yeah.
I could see like a little portrait, but that'd be about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they already have portraits in the like. You can see that there's portraits in the game for like Sylvanas
Sure.
and Arthas, so you can get those. You know, there's a way to kind of cross them, but
They should have like a beta specific one though. Like I think that would be just like a small little way to be like, yeah, this guy's in the
Salt
beta
shaker?
test.
salt shaker.
It'll be like a little salt shaker, or it'll be a face of like someone crying.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
But
I would gladly rock either of those. Too bad they wouldn't be sprays. Like,
Yeah,
Please, I'll take it.
be a
nice.
spray of someone crying.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's if there's no rewards, cool, whatever. I mean, I get to play a ton. But I mean, the big thing that Jeff Kaplan, the lead designer, went into is concerning the progression system, because that was kind of the big thing when the beta came back up. Is hey, check out this progression system, and I know everybody except One Eye has been fairly
never
happy.
legendary, never lucky. It breaks my heart. 25 chests and I haven't gotten one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay though. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah,
I have to admit, you're gonna hate me. I haven't really been playing a lot of Overwatch this week because I've been busy with hero stuff. That I already got a legendary skin. I'm level like 7.
yep.
I'm not mad about it. My buddy, who's friends and family, I swear it's rigged, got Safari Winston 3 times.
What?
Yeah, so you know that happens. Apparently, that's
Yeah.
where all my legendaries went, I guess. So, but someday,
My first legendary was coins, and I was just like, okay.
Coins.
It actually ended up being really good because I bought a lot of like recolors for all the characters I did play. So every character I generally play has a skin now of some sort. If a recolor or not, just it's a skin.
Meanwhile, I just picked up Devil Mercy today, like just nonchalantly, like, hey, whatever. Last game, let's see what happens.
Too.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the Mercy skins. Come on.
Everybody does, yeah.
It's Mercy now.
Yeah, but I mean the progression system, I think it's cool. I mean, even if you don't get a bunch of legendaries, it's awesome. I mean, you know, even if you get duplicates, I think they can increase the currency a little bit, just because, you know, you're getting 5 for a duplicate, and you're getting 10 for an epic duplicate. I mean, that's. I've been able to purchase one thing. I think it was the Bundeswehr skin for Reinhardt, and I don't have enough to buy anything else. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I like the progression system. I like how it feels, and I like the fact that, you know, once you hit level 23, it's just like a linear 22,000 XP per level, and you can expect a box every 22,000 experience after that. And I like it. I think they need to tweak it a little bit, but you know, it's really nice.
Especially for the start of it as well. Because keep in mind, this is like a brand new system that they're like rolling out, so there's gonna be a lot of changes to it. It'll be a lot more skins added on. Because obviously, you can see there's some classes without legendary skins yet too. So there's gonna be a lot of room for potential with this progression system, I think, and it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, for the record, just because I'm a tidbit salty about the no legendaries doesn't mean that I hate the system. I think the system's awesome. It honestly, it's just like opening Hearthstone boosters. It's so satisfying, and like the box actually glows before you open it too, so you get a little peek. You get to know what's in there. Never orange. It's okay though.
Yeah,
Never orange.
for sure.
I do like that. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Glowing orange.
it's a good system. I mean, Azax, you've at least, like you said, you pulled
I have that.
legendary coins, right?
Yeah, 500 coins for the legendary, and I think I got like 250 for a purple coin box.
Yeah. I mean,
So
coins are cool, but when you have 1,000, you need 1,000 credits to get a legendary skin. It's like it doesn't really add up. I mean, you're getting
yeah, you're not going to get those credits from duplicates.
you're
You're going to
getting
get them from boxes.
you're getting 250 for a legendary drop, which it's actually normally 1,000. It's like, but I mean, they'll tweak it. The foundation is really nice, and it makes me excited to want to play to level up, and it doesn't make me feel like I have to grind out games because, you know, well, I have to level up on Zenyatta because I'm 2 games from the next. Like the base progression system they have is really, I like it.
The only thing I can really see is a lot of people have been playing more offensive characters instead of like support characters because you get cards easier with offensive characters, and then you get more points for getting those cards. That's the only thing I can see. I want a little bit more credit going towards supports.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to fix that somehow though. Like, just add more incentive and a value to playing very well as support. It's kind of hard to balance, but I'm sure they'll make it work.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be interesting when that store button lights up, because I know that they had talked about. Yeah, I know they had talked about wanting to sell crates, but not necessarily credits. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the pricing is on that, and if you're able to use credits to purchase crates, or if it's just going to stick to the system they have where you can buy poses and skins. And I care more about sprays. To be honest, nobody likes sprays. I think they're amazing. Like I think they're. Awesome.
I like the sprays.
Yeah.
I like the sprays because I used to play a lot of Team Fortress, and like, yeah, you can't put up really horrific offensive things. It's still kind of fun, and it's like a way to like friendly troll people. Somebody puts up their spray, and you just put yours over it. It's not like, haha, I'm gonna make you rage and tilt, but it's just like, oh, I'm just playing around with you. I don't know. I think it's cool. I like the sprays. Also, I like the theme sprays, like all of the pixel ones, and it's just, I'm super into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't understand like how sprays are used in like other games like CS:GO and stuff. So it'll grow over time.
Yeah. And I mean, I like that they are not immediately jumping in and saying, yeah, you could buy everything for a price. They're saying, well, we want to focus on the gameplay first, which is why the progression system is the way it is. We might let you buy this stuff. We might have a skin story down the road. But for now, level up, get your crates, get your credits, enjoy the progression system. If there's anything we can change, please let us know in the forums, and we'll see what we can do. And it's a really nice, refreshing change of pace, because with Heroes and Hearthstone, you could just spend I think I spent like $300 by the 6th month, because I got in Tech Alpha, and by October I dropped like $300 on the game, and I'm like, I need everything. Yeah. But with Overwatch, it's like, I want those skins, but I'll play with the ones I have, which is why I suck at Reaper, but I play them because I have I have the El Diablos or the El Blanco skin. So progression, definitely the way they did it, I think, was nice.
I like it because it. Go ahead, Sean. It's fine.
I spent like $400 between Hearthstone and like $200 on Heroes of the Storm. I don't feel the need to spend that money on Overwatch besides buying the actual game itself, just because the skins are so cosmetic.
Yeah.
Let's be real here. You would buy them anyways if they were available.
It would be a temptation, for me at least.
What I like about it is I feel like it's a pretty direct parallel between how they're doing Hearthstone. And as far as like Hearthstone's like free-to-play model is concerned, I actually like it a lot. I know that there are some people who are like, you have to buy a bunch of packs to get effective decks, and I absolutely don't think that's true. And I like a system where you're not paying to get specific things. It's just giving you tons of general stuff, and then when you get duplicates, you can use those to make specific things. I like it because it makes, I don't know, it makes everything feel a little more special and a little more valuable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like pulling that legendary actually means something. You're going to learn to, in Hearthstone you build a deck around it, and Overwatch you learn to play that hero, Yeah. I like the way that it feels. It's good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then the next thing that everybody else that is competitive and even myself has wondered about, right now all we have is custom games and quick matches. And so there's kind of been some speculation about ranked gameplay and what they're going to do with that. And I know that Jeff Kaplan said this week that the system is currently being worked on, and it's one of their top priorities, I think top 3. But they also want to improve the tutorials. They want to make sure that there's an improved new player experience. That way they just don't dump you in and you start getting dumpstered by Torbjorns and Zenyatas and Symmetras as soon as you try and push the payload as a level 1. It will make it in. Ranked play will make it into the beta. Somehow they just don't know how they're going to get it in, if it's going to be a full system or if they're just going to like dabble with this minor ranked gameplay. They're going to try and get it in, but it might not make it in time because the release date is spring and we are a month and a half from spring, quote unquote. So
yeah,
we'll see. But in his interview, Jeff Kaplan did give the impression that they're going to try and push it out at worst shortly after launch. So we'll see what happens. Let's speculate a little bit on what you think might be included in that, just based on community feedback, how players are taking the game, and also how Blizzard normally handles their ranked systems.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. definitely solo queue and 6v6, like
Mhm.
in Heroes of Storm. How they rank you up will be the interesting thing, because I know Hearthstone, StarCraft, Heroes of Storm all have pretty vastly different ranking up systems, and some of them are more like than others. But in that interview, he discussed like they're looking at a wide range of things from every other Blizzard game to League of Legends to even Rocket League with how they want to do ranked. So it looks like it's just like it's an open can. We have no idea what is really going to come out of it, but I definitely want a solo queue. Full 66 obviously will be good, but it's a team game like Heroes of the Storm, so it's going to be filled with the usual toxicness I believe that Heroes does, but it's still something that's going to be needed for people who want that more competitive edge, more like static, like have a group of people who know that they need dual comms.
Yeah. Well, and Blizzard has shown that they know how to do a really good rank system, as in, StarCraft, the StarCraft 2 ladder. Everybody likes it. They did it with Brood War, and, League of Legends adopted it, so now they have bronze through, master/challenger tier. But then you have the Hearthstone system, which works for Hearthstone, but I don't like it in Heroes. And we'll have to see how they do that. And then again, because of the fact that you can play more than one character in Overwatch, how are you going to be able to balance that? Because people take ranked play much more seriously. So if you have 4 people that join in and they're all solo queuers and they're all amazing Reaper players, and they're like, well, Reaper's my best, you have to play a support. It's like, crap, like how do we balance that and make it fair for everybody where it doesn't breed even more toxicity than already is there by default? So I'm interested to see what they come up with, because I like ranked play. It really makes me kind of try harder. So, I don't know, we'll have to see.
I think it's a really difficult thing to speculate on too, because like if we look at a lot of the big issues with like Heroes of the Storm matchmaking and things like that, a lot of it has to do with issues regarding bans and like getting rid of specific characters in a competitive setting. Like the issue with Heroes of the Storm is it's pretty much just a scramble for the power picks. That's just all it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how do you do that with Overwatch? Like with a 21 hero pool in a game that emphasizes switching heroes frequently, how do you implement a ban system if you even want to? Like how do you implement like a picking system when it's so fluid and things like that? Is it just like straight up MMR matchmaking and that's all it is? It's the same as regular queue, it just tracks your points? Like I feel like it's a much harder topic to speculate on because of the nature of the game.
Yeah, because I mean, FPS is. I don't have a whole lot of experience with ranked systems and FPSs. I know CS:GO has one. I don't know what to expect. So,
how does CS:GO's rank system work? Does anyone know?
How does it work, or how does the competitive work? Because in competitive, it's a lot different, I feel like.
Well, I just meant like their actual like ranked game modes.
Yeah, like their ranked tiers. I know there's like major gold
MMR
eagle
based.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a kind of a rank up system like that, but it's still like MMR based. There's no picks or bans or anything because there's no like heroes like that, and I know we're trying to compare it to a MOBA, but this is still an FPS game at its heart, so you're not going to see a draft system at all. That won't. I will eat my words, but we will not see that in ranked play.
Like there's no real way to do it. You know what I mean? Especially in a game where you're supposed to switch characters all the time.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Or shouldn't happen. I don't know how you'd implement it.
Yeah, because I know personally speaking, depending on where we are on the map and if we're attack or defense, like on Watchpoint Gibraltar, I don't play the same tank pushing the payload originally. Once you get past the first checkpoint, I switch to another tank once I die, because they're very situational, and a Winston may work to shield or a Reinhardt may work to shield, but I'm going to get Roadhog if it's you're moving around those crates and it's a lot smaller, compact. You can actually like smash people pretty hard, and then you got the Pharahs flying up trying to like ult you rocket rain rockets down, and you can just grab her. Like playing ranked play and having people like me who don't play one character, I play a whole range of characters depending on the situation. It would be really difficult to balance it. So to see what they're going to come up with, I'm really interested. And I don't envy them, because that's going to be a system that will probably piss off half the community no matter what, because that's just how it is. So
always going to be toxic nightmare in online video games. But the fact that we're getting one pretty soon, and it's something requested in the community, so they are dedicated to getting out new modes and content. So the games can be more complete either on launch or a week or two after launch.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, there's no other major news yet. I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind of people trying to get in and trying to play. People, who have been in and they were waiting to get back in are now enjoying the systems. The competitive side of it. We've got some esports news that we're going to pick up on here in about 10 seconds. I mean, it's been just a huge amount of information that we've had to take in. And there's already been a couple patches. The game's been out for a week and a half, or back up for a week and a half. So. Obviously what's true today, on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, Jeff Kaplan can walk in and say, we're holding a press conference at the Shrine and enjoy ranked play and everyone gets 10,000 credits and it's $50 to buy a legendary skin or whatever. So, it's Overwatch. You just log in and you play. But we did have some esports events that went on this past week. Games back up, obviously, so teams are chomping at the bit. And Gosu Gamers, who is a major force in competitive esports, started their Gosu Gamers NA and EU weeklies back up. And we had the EU number 3 and the NA number 3 on Saturday and Sunday this past week. Interestingly enough, there were less teams on the NA side of things than there were EU. There were only 10 teams on the NA side, whereas there was a full 16 on the EU side. And we saw 2 European teams compete and do very well on the NA side with Eccentric and Melty Esports. There wasn't Team Envious. One of their players was moving into a new living arrangement, and they felt like they didn't get enough scrim time in, so they took this week off. And hopefully we'll see him this upcoming weekend. But I mean, there was some interesting stuff that I saw. I know Eccentric in the finals. Reunited in the finals of the EU against IDDQD. Pretty much in almost every match they played, busted out a double Lucio comp. Whether they were attacking or defending, it was double Lucio for the majority of it. And it was exciting to see competitive Overwatch back at it and see these teams that you knew nothing about suddenly do really, really well.
It's definitely something and some interesting things to note with the EU thing is that Melty in the EU side of the tournament they got to the semifinals, and Eccentric, they made it to the second round, but didn't really get much further than that. G2 and Arcane Esports, 2 of the teams we talked about, these big orgs coming into the scene, didn't really get very far. Yeah. And when you look at NA, similar things happened with 2 arcs. So it's just some of these orgs that we were really excited got involved. Maybe they got involved a little bit too early because some unnamed teams are the ones winning the tournaments, not the big orgs.
Correct. That is the. That goes with some of the outrage that, one team did get signed early. But, I mean, they proved themselves beforehand. It's the new phases that were, signed, right before beta came up that we've never heard of before. And it's, a surprise that they're not doing well. It really shouldn't come to a shock because that, to me, is too ambitious of an organization. You're putting all your pennies in one basket already. I mean, I know Overwatch is going to be a big game for esports once it's released, but this is still beta. Be careful about signing players.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've already seen the 2 top teams, arguably, or not arguably. I mean, it could be unanimous. Were Hubris and Not Enigma. Hubris got picked up by Team Envious, and Not Enigma splintered into a million pieces. And we did see Seagull and Enigma on a new team on Mix-Up, and they did finish 4th. On the NA side. They did well, but I just don't think they had enough time because Seagull is one of the top players. I mean, you see all of his trick videos. You see his, Spider-Man Lucio video. I mean, Seagull is well known. He's a good player. It's only a matter of time till whatever team he's on kind of rises to near the top. But, they even surprised because they only had, 4 days to scrim as a team. And, they finished in 4th. But, the kind of big surprise was the fact that there were so many EU teams on the NA side, especially seeing all of these posts pop up on Facebook and Reddit about, hey, I'm looking to form a competitive team. Hey, I play this, and getting 6 players together. There was twice as many, I don't know the exact count because on the NA side, I think there were 2 or 3 EU teams on the NA side, and the fact that it's not region locked, obviously they're allowed to do that. But then, Eccentric and Melty came in. They're both EU teams, and Eccentric ended up taking it with Melty taking second. And then North American Gosu Weekly, and they both did really well. Eccentric finished 8th in EU, but I think they really kind of rebounded, which is why they ended up winning NA the next day. But there was a lot of interesting plays, a lot of interesting characters that came out that really did really well, especially that whole Genji Zenyatta combo.
Oh god.
Holy
I'll
crap.
say with the Eccentric, they were dominant on the control maps the entire NA tournament. I don't think they lost a single control map. And as you said, the Genji play this weekend he was in most every game, and Genji with the Zenyatta orb on him just was extremely powerful to the point where at one point their Genji went in and got 6 kills.
Yeah.
Just wiped the enemy team. It's this is not pub Genji being overpowered. This is the top teams, I guess in this weekend tournaments, and they are wrecked by one Genji with a Zenyatta orb. And it's just the sheer power of that hero played well, and seeing it by these top players. Eccentric really impressed, and so with Zenyatta saw a lot of play this weekend. Healers in general saw a bit more diversity. Lucio still was in every single match. There's an argument that he's probably a bit too strong right now because he's still in every comp. But I saw Symmetras, I saw Zenyatta's, I saw Mercy's. Mercy still got some good play. I think Burlix from Eccentric had some really good Mercy play, but also Zenyatta saw a lot of play because of his Transcendence ultimate. And I'm liking seeing the diversity now. I would like to see if something can happen with Lucio, so he's not in every single game, but I do like seeing the new diversity.
Mm-hmm.
I think teams are really starting to realize the value of the other supports too, because Zenyatta wasn't super popular because why would you pick Zenyatta when you could have a Mercy? But the thing is the damage amp you get from Discord, he's way more offensive than Mercy is. He brings he's attractive in the same way as Lucio is attractive, you know what I mean? And as far as Symmetra's concerned, she is. I insta-lock her anytime I'm on defense.
Yeah.
Osiris. The maps that she's good on, she dominates because she just brings so much solid zone control. And especially when you're on defense, having the quick reses with the teleporter to just get back into position, it forces a team to not just have to contest a point, but contest a point for the entire duration of capture. So it's good to see competitive teams kind of open their minds a little bit, especially just with what are these perceived mercy nerfs too. So.
And I think it was a huge hit to Mercy when they patched it to reduce her ulti range from 40 meters to 15. You see a lot of Mercies literally having to stand on top of their team and res them in the middle of the enemy. I know it's fun for me when I see a Mercy on the enemy team and you wipe 2 or 3 of them and then you see them come right back up because there's that delay and it's crosshairs on you and you're dead again. So Lucio, there's really no counter to him. Zenyatta really kind of shined this past weekend, and I even started playing him this week because it's what's so cool about this guy? And by the end of the first match, I'm like, holy crap, he can burst. You put a Discord orb on somebody, charge up your right click, and you hit him with even just 3 orbs, and it's you can drop a Tracer, you can drop a Ferret, he's OP. I won't say he's OP. There's no OP character.
He's OP.
There's no OP.
Yeah.
I had a couple times when I was playing with you where I discorded someone that hit them in the head and they instantly died. I was yes.
Yeah.
But that Transcendence was just so powerful. We won some games because of Transcendence.
Yeah, and especially just in solo queues, even if the team sees a Transcendence, he pop out, you hear him, do his voiceover. It's everybody pushes because that Zenyatta is moving. Everybody's moving. The Reinhardt is moving. The Winston, and it's just like you can just turn the tide of any fight because there's no real like disadvantage other than, well, you're dead, so now it's a 6v5 contesting this point. Zenyatta kind of really shined this week and showed that he's got a place in any sort of composition as long as he's played right.
Well, especially in payload pushing. Like, I know we brought up how, like, Transcendence, it moves the team. But, I mean, if you look at a lot of the maps that are payloads, like Dorado and things like that, a lot of teams tend to... There's areas you see teams set up in a lot that are really consistent. And so a lot of times when you're trying to get it to the checkpoint and you're on that final choke and that final push, Transcendence is just what wins it for you, period. Because it makes one of your guys untargetable. The AoE healing on it is absolutely ridiculous. It in my opinion, is one of the best offensive support ults.
Yeah.
This is a really good pushing maneuver.
Yeah, but I mean, the Zenyatta Transcendence and the Lucio Soundwave, I mean, they're both... I think Lucio's my favorite character. And there were games where nobody would die. I played with other streamers, and there was one guy where he said, "Oh, I see you're on, let's do a queue." And I wasn't even in voice comms with them, just playing Lucio, and he's like, "Holy crap, nobody died once." And I'm like, I know, like, if you play it right, those two characters are almost must-haves, really. But it was nice to see somebody other than Lucio really get played, and Zenyatta kind of shined, made Genji a little too OP at times. I'm a terrible Genji player, so you'll never see that that combo when I'm playing, but, like, he put in some work in the Gosu weeklies this past weekend. So, and then the last little bit of esports news. Yesterday, 2Arc announced that they were releasing their entire Overwatch roster, and there will be more news to come in the future. And 2Arc was fairly successful in Heroes of the Storm. They've got a duelist team. They've got a Rocket League team, but they're going through some changes organization-wide. So this
isn't their only team that's feeling it. So.
No, I know their Heroes team is kind of... I think they're making some serious changes too. So, they had one showing. I think they finished in the 5th. I think they actually finished in 8th place in the Gosu Weekly on the NA side. 8 out of 10 teams, and they just decided to pull the plug. Now, if that's a smart move, it remains to be seen. But they're going with a new roster, so it'll be interesting to see what players end up shining or come out on that roster when the dust settles.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the new, the new roster for the rest of Non-Enigma? Because I just thought it was really interesting that the rest of Non-Enigma is coming back with a team comprised of TF2 and CS players, and the 2 CS players are AZK and Swag, who apparently were banned from Counter-Strike Go for a year plus for match fixing. It's like, oh boy, fresh drama just in the Overwatch scene.
Yay! Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. I don't think any competitive game is immune to stuff like that. I know that a couple of weeks ago, one of the most successful StarCraft 2 players, he had this squeaky clean image, and everybody loved him. Life. The two-time world champion was arrested on stream because he was found to be fixing matches. So, I mean, hopefully the guys don't bring it over from CSGO. Maybe it was just like a one-time misunderstanding. They didn't realize, and they realized they were other ways too late. But, yeah, definitely going to have some juicy details following that team forward to see, if it was just a one-time thing or... if it's gonna turn Overwatch into a little bit more exciting behind the scenes as well as behind the pixels. So
I've really heard a lot of drama coming from the CS:GO scene, so we'll see how much of it comes over. I just,
it's an
I know
FPS
Blizzard will
game.
take that one.
It's got a lot of PvP people in it, so.
Yep.
We all know from recent events that Blizzard handles negative situations in their esports really well. So we're all excited for that.
Yeah. So, but this upcoming weekend, we've got the Gosu NA and EU number 4. For NA, it's going to be on Sunday. EU is on Saturday. But then, on top of that, the prize pools, which were previously $120 per event, are now tripled to $360. So there's a little bit more incentive for teams to come out. I know that's one point that Minstrel made last week on the show was, well, for $120, it's not really worth playing in both just because it's so much time and effort to put in on Saturday and Sunday. So maybe having the price pool tripled might bring out some of those smaller teams, might kind of establish some names that nobody's
Wait,
ever
it got
heard of.
tripled?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it just got doubled.
Yeah, no, somebody else donated weekly.
Yep.
Wow.
So now it's tripled, and then on
Thanks, DX Racer.
Thanks, DX Racer.
Nice.
Now if they can just give me a chair,
The chairs are pretty good, I'll admit. They're not
yeah,
bad.
I got this
Free
thing.
chairs for everyone.
This chair is terrible, but it'll do.
Get
And
the
then
Gladly
winners
take a
chairs.
and then on Saturday there's also an interesting concept called the One Hit Club. And it's going to be a weekly Overwatch tournament. So One Hit Club #1 comes out, and the prize pool for that is $120. It has 4 teams in it, but the winning team gets to choose a charity that they're going to donate an additional $120. So essentially, it's $240 for the prize pool, but half of that goes to a charity of the winning team's choice. So that's kind of cool. I mean,
That's a nice idea.
yeah, I mean, you're donating to a charity and you're using gaming to do it. I mean, you got, the extra life stuff that people do, and Athene is really big into his African stuff. So the fact that now
Sorry.
Overwatch is doing that, and it's very small, but I mean, anytime you see a charity involved, I can definitely get on board with that.
It's just the organizers trying to get themselves attention, but in a positive way, and I really like it.
Yep.
I like the idea. It's a 4-team tournament, so we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be pretty small, but it's a nice idea, and I like seeing that kind of positivity coming through the community.
Yeah.
It's really unique.
hmm And then on Saturday, Game On GG is doing a 16-team European tournament. It's a $500 tournament. So there's more. It's EU heavy, but at least there's more action. And I'm sure that we'll get official links to streams either later tonight because it is EU or tomorrow morning. So you guys want to check those out Saturday and Sunday. Gosu Gamers doing their thing. One Hit Club, Game On GG. Go check those out. It's only a matter of time till ESL shows up. So there's definitely an explosion of competitive events to watch, and it's already only the second weekend. So.
I only have to hope though with that certain Game On GG tournament that this isn't the start to polarizing more EU events like they kind of do in HOTS right now, where there's not a lot of support in the NA scene versus the EU structure, and I really feel like that's not helping with like pulling out talent. So, hey, NA guys, wake up, give us money.
No kidding. It's just EU's gonna be very busy this Saturday. Like, I mean, if you're one of the teams that are signed up and invited to the One Hit Club tournament, you could potentially be in 3 tournaments this weekend. That's pretty insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So those teams are, if that happens, they're definitely going to have their work cut out for them. But it's more exposure, and at the very base, you get to play more Overwatch. So, yay on you. It's a great game. I love watching it now that now that the beta's back. I love playing it even more. So, definitely, I'm going to definitely follow along and see if some sort of diamond in the rough pops out, because I like those underdog stories. So I think that covers everything outside of our next topic, which is the balance patch that came on Thursday. And there wasn't that much that came out, but what did come out was a huge hammer that dropped, and it definitely kind of shook how the game was played. We'll start with the changes.
Increase the cooldown on using voice lines. That's it.
that was aimed at me. Veritech, I'm sure, can attest to in all of the streams this week. Lots of emotes spamming. It is really good.
They added a
I was having
cooldown.
so much fun with my emails, and you just had to go and ruin it, Don.
Welcome. Like,
Hi. Yeah, I need healing.
Right
Yeah.
Right there.
So, I mean, that's it. We're done. Show's over. See you later. But Bastion got whacked. I think it was a good thing. But pretty much what they did was they made it so he does not gain his extra health pool, his extra armor when he's in Sentry mode. So when he goes from Recon to Sentry, he's 300, 100 health, 200 armor, no matter what. Like,
which is an extremely heavy-handed nerf.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't needed and wasn't needed, but I'm just saying they didn't like lightly tap him with the nerf stick.
No.
Like they crushed him with the whole bat.
Yeah.
He
Like
lost 300 armor. It's pretty insane.
literally has. I'm pretty sure because was it 300 armor in turret? Is that how much the game was? Was it 300?
It made him
He
600
had-
health total.
Yeah.
So 300, yeah. So they cut off like half of his maximum health pool.
Yeah.
And since they already took out the separate health pool between the two modes, which once again, totally justified, nothing wrong with that. I mean, he has gotten wrecked in nerfs. It is rough. Bad time to be a Bastion main.
Yeah.
And I'll say this though, they reverted all the changes to his bullet damage that came with this new wave of beta. So the whole idea was we'll make him do more damage, but he's a lot squishier now, and that's fine. They also increased or decreased the spread of his weapon in his bipedal form, so you can do a bit more running and gunning with Bastion. Overall, like I'm really excited to see the changes. I'm still waiting to see if it's too hard of a nerf for Bastion. We'll have to see like if he's played it competitive at all, or see some more like pro player analysis. But he got hit with the heavy nerf bat, and I've definitely noticed in the day that we've had to test it, a lot less Bastions and a
Yeah.
lot less threat of that Bastion.
I'm waiting to
I'm
see
sorry,
if
but
the
good.
yeah, I'm waiting to see if I'm waiting to see if the changes are really that big of a deal because nobody plays them anymore. I think I saw
Honestly,
him once.
I think it's good. They hit him extremely hard, and if they did over nerf him, I would say it was by a hair because honestly, his damage is terrifying now. In the few games I've actually seen people set up on Bastion and like be successful, it crushes. Because if you have a team that's willing to play around it, his damage is even more ridiculous than it was before, and he already was one of the highest damage champions in turret form. So like, if you actually get the proper setup and support, he dominates, and I think that's a pretty good design for the champion. It's not just a set up sentry and you win the game, you know.
A
So
lot of the big issues with Bastion before this nerf were that teams would protect him with 1 or 2 Reinhardts, and then it was just he was straight up unkillable.
Yep.
He would have 2 Reinhardt shields plus his 600 health and armor, and now it's just like you can still do the same thing, and that's you get to protect him a bit more. That's fine. He's just squishier when it comes to he himself.
Yeah, and I think One Eye and I ran into that earlier this week where they had 2 Bastions and 2 Reinhardts, and they just protected both sides. You couldn't it was just like, you know what? Let's just give up now. Like, let's leave the lobby when this is over because this is like you couldn't break through it. The one Bastion I did see was Bastion Mercy. That kind of hurt because you position the Mercy behind a wall, and now you got healing and damage boost. And as long as they're not idiots, that combo kind of hurts in choke points. But it's nice that he's got half his health pool because he's not invincible now. So we'll see more Bastions eventually, but I think people are really scared over the fact that he has half his health pool now. So he's not this huge, just monstrosity of a damage dealer.
Yeah, I agree.
What I'm interested to see is like a lot of people like me got salty to the point where making statements where like I would rather just see Overwatch without these characters.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna be to the point where like Bastion may not get played as much, so we'll see how that goes. I do want the characters in the game, in the end game. It's just I don't want to feel like I'm dying to turrets. Bastion I didn't really have that much of an issue with. Torbjorn is the one I had the issue with because his turret was just so strong, like we talked about last week with Minstrel. Just how the instant lock on and the instant turning and just it between the two of them, it wasn't making it fun. And Bastion got hit of the 2 characters, he got hit the hardest, but it leaves more opportunity for skilled play. So I'm looking to see how that comes out.
Yeah, and you're in luck because there were Torbjorn changes too.
Woo!
Hooray.
I'm kidding.
Yep. So, Torbjorn, I mean, the biggest thing with him was that it was an instant lock on with his turret. His turret did a crap ton of damage. There was really no way to escape it outside of running behind a wall, and Torbjorn could just stand behind it and repair it. So what they did to combat that was they said, all right, well, you want to play the cheese, repair your turret. Well, now it doesn't do 100 per swing. Now you only heal your turret, you repair your turret for 50 health per swing. So we cut that in half. The turret bullet damage, we're going to take 2 points of damage. So instead of doing 16 points of damage for every shot, it's only going to do 14. And it's rumored. Nobody's confirmed it yet, I don't think. But
There are videos of it, and I did test it in game itself.
Yeah, there's a
So
delay now on targeting. And I think someone said it was like half a second, which might not sound like much, but if you can pop out, from behind a wall, do a volley, go back behind a wall, pop out before even activating it or allowing it to get a shot off.
It's not necessarily delay. It's just there's a maximum turn speed with Torbjorn now.
Yeah.
With his turret, and there were videos this week where this Tracer was blinking between two buildings, and in between her blink, the Torbjorn turret got a split millisecond to see her, saw her and shot her and killed her, and everyone's just like, this is the issue, and they seem to fix it now. There's a max turn speed. It's not going to just instant turn and lock on you and shoot you down.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest change here. Yes, nerfing his repair amount is wonderful. No more just sitting there and instantly repairing your thing to full pretty much in 3 swings. You have to actually be more careful now and plan it better, and you're not always gonna have that turret up now as much anymore.
Yeah.
Well said.
I mean, we still saw some Torbjorns today, but it wasn't on the same level. The thing that really hurt was whenever he got his ulti and he popped Molten Core, because then it hurt like a son of a gun. But it was...
It should. I mean, it's all at that point.
But the one thing that I know One Eye and I noticed in our games today was it wasn't impenetrable defense. It wasn't like, hey, we're on the defense, let's play Symmetra, Torbjorn, and Bastion.
You really feel the repair nerf. And honestly, I feel like it's a little strong. Like, if you do the math, at 100 repair, that means, hypothetically repairing a 0 health turret, right? It would be 3 swings to get back to full, which is ridiculous, right? However, nerfing it down to 6, it takes even just gentle, consistent fire. It gets burst down. I mean, I saw you play him 1 game today, and it was 2 Pharaoh Rockets, and there was absolutely nothing you could do about it.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not necessarily saying it's bad. I feel like it's just a little heavy-handed. I would rather see it be 75, which still fits in neatly into 300. That's still 4 swings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a terrible number for it to be. I just feel like cutting it in half might have been a little too strong, because I don't think the issue was that you couldn't kill it. I think the issue was that it would kill you from a million miles away instantly and would never miss an instantly lock on, which they'd addressed, and you feel it.
Yeah.
So personally, I feel like the repair nerf is a little too strong, but justifiable. I'm not upset that they nerfed the repair rate. I'm upset that they nerfed it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did only play him that 1 game just because I wanted to see how the changes felt. I think I died a lot because I'm terrible at Torbjorn, but they're definitely. I mean, Pharaoh Rockets, if they get a bead directly on you, it's 2 rockets and you're dead, and 1 more rocket and your turret's dead. So, definitely, I think it needs some tweaking, but it was a lot more fun to play attacking maps. Or play as the attacking team on maps now, because it didn't feel like you were climbing up this cliff. It just felt like you were climbing up a hill, moving payloads and attacking points. Definitely a step in the right direction. They might have overstepped a little bit, but I'd rather them do too much than not enough and be like, people be like, well, why did you change this at all? It's still overpowered. So,
yeah.
But definitely I think the fact that they are addressing these specific changes means that they are listening to the community, they know what's up, and they really do want to make these changes because they're kind of catastrophic as is. I never enjoyed attacking on certain maps when, the enemy team's like, oh, Symmetra, Bastion, and Torbjorn. Get through that. So, but we'll see. I mean, it's only been a day. And we'll have to see what the long-term lasting effects are, especially after these tournaments here this weekend. But those were the 2 biggest changes. The next biggest one was to D.Va. People were having an issue with her mech would die too fast, and then she was kind of useless in pilot form unless you were the world's most godliest squishy pilot player. And then her ulti would charge way too slow. So they addressed that. The ultimate cost was decreased by 20%, so it charges a lot faster. And the self-destruct ultimate, it generates passively even when she's dead or her mech is destroyed. That's a pretty big change for D.Va. I know I didn't enjoy playing her this past week just because it's they focus her down, you pop your defense matrix, yay, now defense matrix is down and you're dead, so you might want to go run behind that wall because you're about to get killed. And I know I saw a lot more divas today. I saw a couple double diva comps. It was like, definitely a big change.
People really like her.
Yeah, I think she's cool.
As someone who played a lot of diva in the first wave, I was not having fun playing her this time around. Just like how slow you're building your ults. It felt a lot more punishing. Just the change where you're not gaining ult charge from taking damage anymore was really noticeable on her, probably more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Which, for the record, on all of the tanks, it does feel extremely noticeable.
Yeah.
Roadhog, he deals a lot of damage, so it builds up a little quicker, but as Minstrel pointed out, like with Reinhardt, he doesn't build as quick either. So it's one of those things where they're going to start making changes, and they've done that with D.Va, and she does feel a lot better now. You actually feel like you're getting your ultimates off more than once a game, and this calling her mech back is a lot faster. It's like jumping 2% every like couple seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it makes her more competitive. It makes me feel like I don't just have to play the two tanks I'm strong at with Winston and Reinhardt. I can actually enjoy playing D.Va because I do like playing her, and I've got her.
Fun.
She's fun, and I get to spam winky face. I mean,
Oh god,
come on, like best line NA right there.
Well, and she goes, Anyong. I love
Annyeong.
that. This is great. Yeah, I mean, just as somebody who really liked Arrested Development, I know it's just hello and green. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, it's fun to be I like the emote spam. That's all I'm saying. QQ nerf.
Yeah, cute nerve. But
oh boy.
I mean, it was fun, and then of course, there's some other changes. May had her endothermic blaster alt fire ammo decreased from 50 to 40 because
Not really too much of a change, really. Just gets more priority on her all fire.
Yeah.
I really just included this in there because I've been such a big May fan, so I like her getting some quality of life changes. I'm still pretty much undefeated with May on Hollywood, and I'm loving it. She's so strong right now.
She's so fun too. Like
Yeah.
that's
I hate
the
her.
other thing. She's really underrated. As a tank, yeah, I have nightmares about her because as a tank, it's just like my shields do nothing. I'm just
She's so
To
annoying.
play, she is just so fun because she's one of those heroes where it's like I don't bring a ton of damage, but it's just like it's uncomparable. You compare freezing somebody to any other crowd control in the game, and it's just not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even. It's different sports. So
She's like
just,
a
I mean,
reverse pyro from TF2, man.
Yeah.
I've
I
literally
don't
seen
wanna pyro.
people rage quit after blizzards. Like I've seen it. It happens. Like
I told you I have one game entirely with ice walls. I had a game last night with Veritech where on Hollywood when they're trying to capture that point and they had to go through the arch. It's so small with the car there in the middle, like the window to see through it. And I had a point where I barely I'm sniping this Widowmaker through the little bit of arch in between my ice walls. And she's like, there's nothing that goes through the arch when you're May. There's nothing that goes through it. And when they finally do go through it, it's like, Blizzard, sorry.
Yep.
She's disgusting on Hollywood.
she's just so good. She really is.
I can't stand her. I'm with Artemis. I hate her,
She's
and it's
annoying.
mainly because I can't really play as her. I was trying to learn Genji. You can't block any of her attacks.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, I'm frozen, and yep, I'll see you guys when I respawn. But that just means I need to learn how to play her. But she's still super, super, super powerful.
All right. I'll admit, I have one major issue with May right now. She makes me want to have a flamethrower character, like now.
Yeah, I want a flamethrower character. I need a pyro.
I just can we reskin her with fire so we can have like big firewalls blocking everything?
She'll be like, it'll be like her only hard counter. It'll be this pyro.
Just melts all her stuff instantly.
And then the Fire Nation arrived.
Oh boy.
But I mean, and then there was some stuff about Mercy. Her guardian angel could no longer target the souls of dead allies, and that was mainly because people were targeting their dead allies and flying to them rather than their live allies. So
That's actually a really bad nerf for pro players. I don't know why they changed that at all. Like it's really just a casual player change, and it's not healthy for the game.
And within a couple of hours, Blizzard was like, we thought we saw feedback about this. We'll change it. And they already said they're going to revert it. So it's just they're really snappy on these, on the feedback right now. It's like, we're sorry,
Yeah.
we'll fix it, we'll put it back in. And definitely just one of those things, you can't really nerf the competitive that much to appease the casuals. Like, there's sometimes when you should, but if you make it a mistake that you made a mistake, it's gonna happen sometimes. We need the better functionality is more important than the couple times you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's more of you can't have a world where Mercy has a 15-yard revive range and she can't jump to dead allies. Because otherwise, she's just sitting. Otherwise, she's just sitting in the front line the entire time, and she's not designed to thrive in an environment like that. So, like, I understand there's some people who are getting frustrated and going to Reddit and things about that and getting super salty because this is oversalt and that's what you do. But you can't have both. And like, I don't have huge issues with the 15-yard revive range because you can jump to death. I mean, I thought it felt healthy. I was super surprised to see that they reverted that in that hotfix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also didn't hear anybody complain about it, like outside of people.
I never saw it.
I never saw any complaints either.
So they saw some feedback somewhere, and we're like, we're gonna make this change, and then no one really wanted it.
It might have been even like the inner office play. People were like flipping desks and stuff, like Blizzard is getting competitive inner office, but
what we don't know is that Jeff Kaplan's just really bad at Mercy, and he was the one making these.
Yeah, he said, "Guys, this is getting changed, or you can go work for Valve." So.
No, please, Jeff Kaplan, no.
We already lost Greg Street. No.
Ooh?
But Ghostcrawler, wow.
Kidding.
He went to League of Legends, but I mean, yeah, it's a change. I never really played Mercy. I'll play her now because I got a legendary skin. But I mean, it's whatever. The big two were Torbjorn and Bastion, and thank goodness for that. So we'll see what the fallout is after this weekend.
Overwatch is playable.
Yeah, Overwatch is playable on attacking teams. Yay!
Yeah, it's not really much for defensive right now.
No. So, but. Is there anything else you guys wanted to cover? Any special topics? Because I think that covers our official start to finish.
We actually ended in an hour. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been pretty good about ending on time. We've been pretty solid about it.
When I put together notes, it's like there's a lot, but we're gonna get through pretty quickly. It's mostly just like quality of life stuff, and then the balance changes.
And then probably.
What do we do with Bastion? Freak out! Maybe to fix it. Like that was pretty much the.
We need to have an hour-long discussion on how Bastion is dead.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could do a deep dive in them next week because we're gonna bring the deep dive.
We could do a salt topic. The oversalt corner.
We can all bring in various types of salt.
Salt
that we
shakers.
have.
Yeah.
You can, and if you're Jewish, here's some kosher salt. Like
what?
Yay. But
I'm sorry, I'm a hippie. I need some sea salt.
Sea salt, pink sea salt.
No, if you were a hippie, you'd want lavender salt, dude. I live near
boy.
Talk about
what is lavender salt?
Okay, this is nothing to do with Overwatch, but funny story. My one written review for Lyft this past week that I got was somebody saying that aura, literally 5-star rating that just said that aura. No idea, man. So that's hippie stuff. We can get into it.
Your scent must have been divine.
Yes.
His
I don't know how else to say it.
His essence was otherworldly. I mean, I can attest to that. Whenever I'm around the guy, it's just like that aura, though. I mean,
Veritech, you're gonna make me blush.
You guys suck.
Oh, please don't be jealous.
Yeah. But and then probably next week we'll probably jump back in with another character deep dive. We wanted to make sure that we devoted enough time because it was the first week that competitive matches were back up. There was a lot to talk about. There's probably going to be a lot to talk about next week, but we'll try and cover a character. Preferably, we might look at a tank.
It should be a tank. It's next on the roster.
Yeah. So.
No, it's not Roadhog.
I know it's not. We're gonna save him for last. That's how it works.
We're waiting till you get legendary Roadhog before you open up about him.
Never lucky, never legendary. I'm never gonna get either of them. Both of his skin, all of his skins. I'm half tempted to pick up the Pigpen one just because it's so good. Anyways, I won't get on about Roadhog.
All right, well, I guess we can go ahead and wrap some stuff up. Artemis, where can we find you at on social media?
You can find me at res_Artemis Howe. You can find me on my team page, Resurgence NA, or at Team Vigil _Vigil. Those are the two teams I do manage right now. Or you can just find me here.
She never leaves that couch. just find her there.
Find me here, right
I'm right
here.
next to Disneyland, so
Yeah, doubt.
let's go to Disney World. Star Wars Land is opening up pretty soon, so I would make a pretty good I'll be your third wheel.
I might have to hit that up for Heroes of the Dorm. Like when we're out there for Heroes of the Dorm, I might have to go and be like, guys, Heroes is cool, but Star Wars Land, like you don't
Guys,
understand.
let's go to Disney World.
Disney World,
Yeah.
Disneyland.
I want to be someone's awkward third wheel. I'll make your date memorable. So just if you need somebody for Disneyland, just hit me up.
Yeah.
Is this person following us around barking?
barking for the bushes.
Yeah.
Bark.
I'll even bring my very own Rhaegar accessories.
The Frostwolf pup.
I'm
Oh,
here.
Look at that. And there's your
I'll
Rhaegar.
bring my own Rhaegar accessories.
There you
Shoot,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Sorry. Anyways, where can we find you, One Eye?
Best place is normally Twitter, at NA1eye. You can also find me around the multi-tap stuff. Jay Dubious just got his computer fixed, so Dubious Retro Gaming Reviews, good stuff. I think it's just Dubious Gaming. Import Gaming for the win. All good stuff, good network if you're into retro stuff, so feel free to reach me on Twitter. I'm pretty good about replying, so.
All right, Azax. What about you, buddy?
If you want to find me, you can find me at Twitter at AZX Gaming, AZX Gaming. And beyond that, you can probably find me at Taco Bell with Artemis once a week.
Taco Bell. Yeah, that quesalupa, son. Well, right on. And then as for me, you could find me. I ditched the underscore because I knew everyone was going to be, like I'm a
About damn
hipster.
time.
I used an underscore before it was cool. But you can find me on Twitter at VeritechGG. And you can find me streaming 7 days a week, gaming.youtube.com/VeritechGG, and also once a week here on Twitch TV/VeritechGG. Other than that, if you want to come hang out in my neighborhood, there's a Five Guys. I'd love to meet you. They got delicious burgers. We don't have In-N-Out, QQ, but whatever.
He wants to share his foot long with you, is what he's saying.
Whoa.
Yeah, we went there. We went
We
there.
need to
Five
stop
Guys.
before it gets into Jared jokes, because it's really close to getting into Jared jokes.
Oh, yeah,
No,
but...
no.
Yeah, so you can find me there, and you can find all four of us together here Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, doing the Guardians. And I know a couple weeks ago I said you can meet us all at regionals, and then they announced that no live audience, so I won't be coming out for regionals, but we will all be together for Heroes of the Dorm. So yay, April 9th.
If I can find a couch, I'll be out for regionals.
Well, yeah, you are an independent woman. You don't need no schedule. Like you'll go.
Girl!
There is a viewing party the Sunday for the finals at the Esports Arena, and I will be there, hopefully with Donovan. So
Yeah, the three of you guys will be there, but I have no money, so I'm gonna go out for Heroes of the Dorm, and
I will be at Burbank, so
Yep.
we'll be at the viewing party.
Yep. So the three of them will be there, and I will be there in April. So if you guys live in California or you're going to be there for Heroes of the Dorm, we will all be there as well. So I think if there's nothing else to say, we will just go ahead and say we will see you next time. Twitch and YouTube, stick around afterwards. We're going to do a short post-stream kind of just hang out as we close down the stream. But for our audio viewers, we will catch you next time.
later.